as always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the week?
I thought this was cool. Got to go with Paul Skenes, number one overall pick from LSU. We got to see him in the College World Series. Signs for a record with the Pirates, $9.2 million signing bonus, over $1 million above the previous record for Spencer Torkelson in 2020. So that's big money. That clearly says that they believe this kid's going to be legit right out of the gate. And how could you not?
Yeah, that is that's a big man on the mound.
Huge.
Yeah, you look at him, and that's where, and this is something we've talked about before. How long does a guy like that need to stay in the minors, right? If you're paying a guy, if you're giving him that type of signing bonus, don't you just throw him in the fire quickly? Or that, I guess that's just not how baseball works. It's just, we do it in every other sport, but it's just not how baseball works for whatever reason.
I don't know the reason. I'm sure there's good reason behind it.
Right.
Maybe you let him go have a little bit of failure to where he doesn't step in, get shelled one night, and like fall apart mentally or something. I don't know what it is, but I'm kind of like, the arm's ready. He's got everything. We know what he's going to throw. He knows what he's going to throw. Let's get him out there and start getting some bang off of our investment.
Baseball, as far as I can tell, baseball is the only sport where the decision makers go, let's go rack some miles up on this guy, and then we'll bring him.
Right.
I don't know, it's really there's got to be some science behind it, I would assume. And if anyone out there is dialed into the baseball world like that, let us know. Tweet at us. Let us know. But it's interesting because, like, in football, you're like, hey, we don't want this guy going. It's like you send him to the XFL to play a season or two, and then you bring him to the big club. I don't know. It's so strange to me.
It is. It's totally different. And I can't imagine he spends hardly any time down. I mean, go throw a couple of games, perhaps, but get up here in the bigs where you can work with our coaches, see our players, develop in our locker room. I don't know. Maybe if you got a really crappy team like the Pirates have had, maybe it's like, we don't want you around these guys. Go somewhere else. I don't know.
We don't want their suck to rub off on you.
That's right.
All right. Who do you have as your loser of the week?
Well, there's some folks out there setting records with signing bonuses like Paul Skenes, and there's others who are not. NFL running backs, losers of the week, cannot get a deal done as a free agent running back. You're going to have to get franchised, free. I mean, all you have to do is look at Joe Mixon, right? Joe Mixon was asked to reshape his deal. I think he was due to get like 10 or so. I don't know what it was exactly, but it's like, I can either restructure, take a hit, or I can go test free agency because I'm about to get cut, right? Because of what's on my contract. I can't test free agency right now as a running back. You just flat out can't do it. There's no market there. There's no money there. I'm going to restructure and stay on a really good team. That's what you got to do. It's crazy to see what has happened to that position over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
As far as financially.
Right. And, this, I can't remember who tweeted it, but someone was like, the running backs have taken their group chat to Twitter. Like they're yes. Just putting it all out there. Like and it has everything to do. Saquon Barkley and the Giants weren't able to get a long-term deal done. He's playing on the tag. Josh Jacobs, right? Who's 25 years old. You've got, Ezekiel Elliott doesn't even have a team right now. And I think everyone is trying to figure out who to blame. Right? Do you blame the NFLPA? Do you blame organizations? Like, are all the organizations colluding right? To just not pay running backs. But really, if you're going to blame anything, blame the analytics of football and how people understand success rates when it comes to running the ball versus passing the ball, and just how pass heavy the game has become. Even though there was a bit of a shift last year, right? That the NFL, I mean, people were running the damn ball in 2022. But yeah, I think everyone's trying to figure out, like, how can these guys that have earned that have played at an extremely high level, how can they be compensated properly? And I'm not sure there's a good answer, right? The NFLPA, they can't just do something special for running backs and not do it for everyone else. Like, that's not how a union works. So I don't know what the answer is, man.
They could, but they won't. I mean, I would say the NFLPA may have created it. What's happened? It's been over the last 20 years. Okay. The year 2000 is a pretty good gauge of whenever this started to happen. Before 2000, a lot of the most famous players in the NFL were running backs, right? You look around at the league and, how good your offense was, a lot of it depended on how good your running back was. Well, what happened? They changed the rules of the game, right? They started making it easier to throw. You couldn't touch receivers down the field. You look at where it is now. You can go watch the 90s and see what they did to the quarterbacks in the pocket. It was brutal. You can't touch a quarterback anymore. You can't touch him on the legs. You can't touch his helmet. You can't fall on him. It's so much easier to throw the football. So where's the money going? It's going to quarterbacks. How many receivers did we talk about this offseason that signed record deals?
Yeah.
It was like one after another, right?
Yeah, I think I saw
didn't make crap.
Yeah, and the franchise tag number for wide receivers was like 19 point something million, while the running back franchise number that Barkley's going to be playing on, or we think he's going to be playing on, it's like 10.1.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's not, receivers haven't gotten better and running backs gotten worse. The rules have changed, right? So now the receivers are the star and running backs are not nearly as big as what they used to be. So, I mean, that's what's created this. They can get mad there, and then they can also get mad at the abundance of good running backs. Like the difference in a superstar running back and a top guy. It's not that big of a difference outside of a few examples. So, I mean, it's just how the market is.
Yeah. I don't know what the answer is. Some people are saying, well, let them get to free agency quicker. I don't really know. All I know is this: like, if you're a running back and you're playing college football, I would go somewhere where I know I'm going to be splitting duty with a couple other guys. Right? I want to be able to go into the NFL and say, "Hey, I have very few miles, right? I got so much tread left on the tires." Right? That if I was an elite running back, that's something I would consider. Right? Now, you want to be the man, right? Everyone wants to be the man. There's no doubt about it. But if you're thinking about making money playing football, you got to choose your situation wisely in college. Right? You don't have a choice in the NFL. Whoever drafts you, drafts you. Right? That's how it works. But if you're one of these top backs coming out of high school, you got to look at a situation and go, hey, I don't want to carry it 30 times a game because that's going to hurt me in the long run. Now, there's an NIL component to it, but once again, the NIL money is not going to compare to being a first rounder. So I don't know, man. Running backs, they're just in a tough spot. All I know is I was talking to my 2-year-old about it. I was like, son, I don't think running back was in your future anyways, because I mean, just look at your dad. But yeah, we're not playing running back. It's quarterback, buddy. That's it. And I think there are going to be a lot of parents around the country saying the same thing to their kids.
Yeah. Well, and then whenever that happens, things will shift, and people will find out that if you have a really good running back, things will, it'll go back. Here's how they could help it right away. Fix it, I don't know, but help it. Stop giving automatic first downs on a 5-yard illegal contact penalty. That is horseshit that the NFL does that. And if it's a 5-yard penalty, guess what? You get a lot more running downs. If it's an automatic first down, we're going to keep going to the air, keep getting free first downs over and over and over. Right? They don't have to earn it. You just hand it to them. So, like, to me, that is the worst penalty in all of sports. A 5-yard penalty, automatic first down is stupid.
Yeah. So you think maybe the easiest answer is look at some of these rules, take a long, hard look at them, and how can you get into some more running situations, right? To where they're seemingly you would assume that running backs would then have more value in the game.
Absolutely. Legislation is what has changed the sport. It's how they manipulate it. It's how they move it around. And I can't say that it hasn't worked. I think it has worked because they put it all on the quarterback and they put it all on the face. Like, you have one face of each team, right? Instead of like spreading it all out to everyone, you can kind of follow one guy. Right? Our one guy against your one guy. Let's see what happens. And that's where all the money goes, $50 million for your quarterbacks. But it got that way because of legislation. Legislation is everything with how they call the game. And that's what's got it to where it is today. And a lot of people like that. I'm not saying necessarily if it's a good thing or bad thing, but that's the way the sport is played the way it is because of the way they legislate it.
Yeah. It's interesting. Good luck to all our running back brethren out there. It's tough right now. It's tough.
Learn to pass rush.
Yeah. No kidding. All right, let's finish up with my winner and loser. But first,
John Vance Auto Group has been serving Oklahomans for 40 years. Family owned and operated. They have 9 full-service dealerships, Woodward, Miami, and Guthrie. No matter what your vehicle needs are, John Vance Auto Group has you covered. They carry domestic brands such as Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, and Wagoneer. John Vance Auto Group's goal is to give unequaled service and to exceed customers' expectations in every way, which is why they have their lifetime loyalty program. And here's how it works. Buy a new or used car from them. Then all you have to do is get all of the manufacturer recommended maintenance done at the Vance dealership. And if something goes wrong with the components of your engine, transmission, drive, axle, or transfer unit, they will cover the repair cost. It's a great deal. You can browse their entire inventory or find the John Vance dealership near you at vanceautogroup.com.
And First Fidelity Bank is a full-service financial institution based in Oklahoma with tailored solutions for all your personal and business needs. Checking accounts, saving accounts, home loans, and much more. They do it all. Whether it's online banking from your computer or mobile banking from your phone, everything is stress-free with FFB. Making mobile deposits, paying bills online, and moving money to different accounts could not be easier. Ladies and gentlemen, make your life easier and go bank with First Fidelity Bank. Visit ffb.com for more information. All right, for my winner of the week, thought about going with coffee. The Open gets going at Royal Liverpool, and woo boy, those tee times are early. That is brutal. The golf sickos, the absolute golf sickos will be up and watching it live. I don't think I'm going to be one of them, but yeah, it's always fun. Major championship golf. Ted, I'm all in, but it's going to take some dedication to catch a lot of that live.
I may get up to watch it all live if I was guaranteed that John Rahm was going to hit a protester with a golf ball. What a quote. That was great. When asked about whether the protesters are going to be there, he's like, I don't know. I'd hate for someone to get hit with a golf ball. It's going to hurt.
It's funny. And maybe the only one I'm considering getting up for is to watch Koepka with Cantlay and Hideki Matsuyama, just to see the pain on Koepka's the face from the pace of play.
Did they do that on purpose to him?
Oh, there's no doubt. Right?
Play the one guy that bitches more about pace of play with the slowest guy on tour.
I mean, that is not a coincidence. No one could convince me that
they're trying to create. There's probably going to be a heated exchange on the course, right?
Yeah, trying to create some drama, some chatter, and it's working. But yeah, always fun when it's major championship golf. But my winner of the week, patriotism, the red, white, and blue. Women's World Cup gets started this week, Ted. U.S. Women's National Team, first game's on Friday, and somehow they're doing it as a reasonable time, which is very much appreciated. 8 p.m. start against Vietnam. They're in Group E with Vietnam, Netherlands, and Portugal. They are a big-time betting favorite. Now, I think England actually isn't that far behind them in the odds, but very excited to watch. No team has ever won 3 World Cups, and that's men's or women's. No team's ever won 3 straight, and the women in red, white, and blue are going for it. So let's go, baby. USA, USA.
Where is it?
Australia.
Really? Okay.
New Zealand and Australia. Shrimp on the bobby. Australia. My Australian accent sucks.
I thought it was fantastic.
Thank you.
I think it's strange. I haven't seen anything about this leading up to it. I feel like it's usually a huge deal, and when I saw this in the rundown, I was like, "Oh,
the best piece of marketing I've seen is from the French women's national team. Did you see that commercial?
I did see that. That was good. That was really good.
That was one of the best pieces of marketing I've ever seen. That was very, very well done. And also, there was probably a lot of people that saw that commercial and they're like, I kind of feel attacked right now. And I think that was the point. But yeah, I feel like there's buzz, but are you just saying there's not as much buzz as you?
Yeah. I feel like it's usually like everywhere. And maybe I've just missed, that could be a me thing. I fully understand that could be the
now
case.
That you say it though, I don't know. Maybe I haven't been my 2-year-old doesn't care about how hot it is outside. He just wants to play outside. So I'm not watching nearly as much TV. But yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. I still think people are excited though, right? Because we're good. Yeah. So we're good. We're going to watch.
One more thing about the French commercial marketing thing. After I saw it, my next thought is, well, how long, if it can be done that good, I don't know how they did that to make it that good. Like, what's at some point, like, how do we know who we're watching? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, little AI conspiracy here. If you haven't seen the commercial,
maybe I need to go back and watch it now that I know and see if I can tell.
I did that. Couldn't tell at all. So basically, if you haven't seen the commercial, go watch it. It's incredible. But they take these soccer clips and it's men. Like, it looks like it's the men's French national team playing.
What they call them, the blue or something like that?
Yeah, the blue. Yeah. But the clips are the women, and they have digitally altered it to where it looks like men. And then they show you that they did it, and you realize that this was actually the women's national team doing all these cool things and scoring all these goals and doing all this cool stuff. So it was very, very effective. I think they sent the message they were hoping to send.
Yeah. It was very well done.
Yeah. But you're over here going, maybe
But you
too
know
well
what I'm
done.
saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you.
Like,
You reach that point where they start showing you like they remove remove the men and they show that it's actually the clips of the women, and everyone that at that point everyone's like, oh,
yeah, it's wild.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but my loser of the week thought about going with Pat Fitzgerald in Northwestern. That thing's about to get ugly, man.
Mm.
Got a couple different lawsuits popping up. You got players suing Fitzgerald, the athletic director, to the president for negligence. A group of another 8 players announced they're planning on taking legal action against Northwestern. It's about to get real up there, man. There is a long road ahead for that university. Long road.
I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about that. I think it is. It feels like it's turned into a money grab situation. You know, I'm totally against hazing. Think it's stupid. Um, but like, if you're going to sit around and not ever say anything about it, ever, like they did it to you, but you didn't step up and try and get it stopped. You didn't say anything to a coach. You didn't say anything even after the fact, and you're just going to jump into a lawsuit now. I think that is, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that at all. I think
Yeah.
it's extreme cowardice.
We'll see where it goes. But if I had to guess, that they're never gonna make it to court. That's gonna be a settle out of court situation. And
I'm just interested, like, what does that mean for the rest of college football, you know? And where does the liability for a head coach start and stop?
right. It's like, hey, I got hurt during practice because we were doing this drill. I'm going to sue the coach and the university for the drill. That's, yeah.
Well, if it takes place in the locker room, like, what if there's a fight and someone gets hurt? Is the coach liable for that? If that happens in the locker
There's
room?
never fights in locker rooms. Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Great damn UFC ring at times in there.
Yeah. I, that's a really interesting point. I don't know, but yeah, we're going to have to follow this whole thing because, because you're right. It may have an effect on college football as a whole and what this means for head coaches, like what they are deemed responsible for. Right. Because everything I've read said that Fitzgerald didn't know.
Yeah.
But he's named as a defendant in this lawsuit. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But my loser of the week, the Pac-12, they've got their media day on Friday in Vegas. And we already know they are not going to announce a media rights deal. A league source told ESPN that the deal will be released in, quote, the near future. And they expect it to be on par with the ACC and Big 12. This is what, the 8th time we've been told that the deal is coming soon. Ted, they're saying their patience is going to pay off and that more people have come to the table. I'm going to need to see that to believe it. We're waiting.
You cannot be in a worse negotiating position than the Pac-12 is. Everyone else has their deals. Time is not on their side. Their group is already fractured with USC and UCLA leaving, but rumors of more fraction developing. There is no offer that's going to get better. The offers are going to get worse and worse and worse. And the offers that they look at as decent right now or a month ago that they don't accept are going to get worse and no longer be on the table. It's just, that's how it is for them right now.
Yeah. Brett Yormark interviewed him at Big 12 Media Day, and he straight up said, "Hey, I'm really glad we got our deal done early because I'm not sure we could get the same deal done right now with how the media landscape is." So I'm skeptical of what some of these Pac-12 sources are telling people, right? That, oh, no, it's all fine. We got more people coming to the table. We're going to get a good deal. It just does not feel that way. But I just want this deal to get done. I'm so tired of talking about it. I mean, I really am. And especially OU's going to be in the SEC for what seems like eternity. Like, OU's got stability. That's why they did what they did, right? You have the ultimate stability being in that conference when it comes to football. I just want this deal to get done because I want to know what the college football landscape is going to look like. And I'm aware that realignment never sleeps. I get that. But this next period of college football, with OU starting in the SEC, I just want to know what the rest of the picture looks like. So come on, Pac-12, let's get this done so Colorado or Arizona or whoever can decide if the deal's good enough for them to stay or if they're going to go somewhere else. Please, we just want to know what teams are in what conference. Get it done.
I didn't think about this until just now, but I'll add a layer of suck onto the top of this for the Pac-12 with timing. Have you followed the writers' strike?
Oh, yeah. Because all I'm doing is watch it. Like, there's none of the shows are on right now. Like, none of the late night shows. They've been off for forever. So I'm just watching. I'm streaming Netflix and everything. There's plenty of content on there.
All right. I didn't know anything about it. And then I saw a clip yesterday, and I don't know what all the grievances are, but one of them are with streaming services and the royalties that streaming services are paying.
So that's a huge piece of it, from what I understand, from what I've read.
Yeah. So I guess I don't need to get into the fact that, but streaming was supposedly one of the avenues that the Pac-12 was looking at, right? Some of the streaming services. Well, the streaming services are they're in the middle of something that's way bigger. And frankly, I don't know, like, they may be worried about their bottom line as far as like the users are not going up anymore. And if they have to start paying royalties per view, as opposed to just buying the rights overall, which is what they've been doing, that could massively affect their bottom line.
Yeah.
So that more bad timing for the Pac-12.
Yeah. And you think, because remember, there were a lot of reports that streaming was going to be the main portion of what they were going to do,
right,
with their media rights deal. So with everything they're dealing with, and the writers are striking, and now the actors are striking. So there's a lot going on. Best of luck to our man, George Kliavkoff, and to the Pac-12. Just get it done. I want to know who's in what conference. Get it done, guys. Come on.